Just been listening to the Craig Jones and Mikey interview, and it seems to be this reoccurring kind of topic around like that Mighty Mouse keeps bringing up, which is this idea of like people should just get if they're very very good at what they do, they should get paid for it. And I think that the difference is when you start with things like NFL or NBA or any of these other sports, because ultimately those sports are team based. So and the team itself is chasing for the money via sponsorships or winning golds or winning cup, whatever it is, right? So, and because they're so huge and obviously gravitating so much cash from their wins or being a part of a league, so on and so forth, like the individual, there's like a standard to the cost of each member of the team. Whereas obviously in MMA and jiu-jitsu, they're just, it's based upon the individual's kind of value, like what they bring into the sport and why they're doing it, and like obviously what they can bring into the business as a whole. So I think that we need to be very careful about, not careful, but like it's very clear that there's a difference between a single, like individual competing and a team competing. And obviously there's a lot more money in the team-based sports, with sponsorships and so on and so forth. I mean, even to like Formula One, like yes, it's a driver, but it's a team that partakes in the competition. So in the sense of like the UFC contracts and exposure, I mean the monopoly, which is what Craig's bringing up. I mean it's important, and I think the slippery part that Mike's not really picking up on is like, yeah, give him a chance, give him a chance, give him a chance. The predicament with giving them a chance is that if we give them a chance, they have the capacity to become the monopoly. And I think that's not what's being pushed across in that conversation. Because in the end, obviously anyone can have a chance, but when you're that big, you can just swallow everybody. So I think that one, we need to be clear on the differences between these other sports. Why, and yeah, this idea of like fighting is just entertainment, well, because it is. Boxing is obviously a good clear example of that. And also just being clear on the, like, yes, it's okay to give the organization opportunity to prove something, but I think what would be more beneficial is the UFC maybe laying out a 5-year plan of goals and targets and being more transparent with like what they want to try and do. I mean, it's perfectly okay to say, I'm here to make money, how do I do that? Just be more realistic and more, not realistic, that's unfair, but like more visible and more out there with like actually how you're going to make that happen. And what I've noticed as well is like with these interviews with people who've dealt with the UFC, it just seems to be very much like they're obviously very quick to go liable or start suing people, which isn't great, because like you need like these stars of the sport to be able to talk about stuff so that the normal consumer or guys who grapple or whatever can feel like they're a part of something, like that it's not just pen pushers, I suppose. Anyway, that's for that. Enjoy CJI 2, everybody. Ew.